It's the Gone Fishin podcast in association with the OEHL and the Shelburne Muskies, and hosted by OEHL live on YouTube play-by-play commentator Andrew Rodgers. This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada, located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today. Here is your host, Andrew Rodgers. All right, everybody, welcome back. This is the Gone Fishin podcast, sponsored by Larry's Small Engines in Mono, Ontario, Canada. I am Andrew Rodgers, the host. This is episode number 4, and great to be back with you guys once again. Want to reiterate off the top, like I normally do, I just want to thank the Shelburne Muskies and the entire organization there for trusting me with this podcast and wanting me to do it, and their games, and as well as the games in the OEHL all across the league. Pretty busy last weekend, 3 games in 3 days. It was a lot of fun, though, so we had a good time. But yeah, great to be able to bring you guys these episodes every week. I hope you guys enjoy them. Definitely appreciate the viewership numbers all across the board. It's pretty awesome at the end of the day to be able to go and look at those and see the numbers in the to the amounts that they show. It's pretty awesome. It's a great feeling for me, and definitely appreciate it. So hope everybody's doing well. Make sure to drive safe out there depending on where you are, and man, oh man, just I within the hockey community and within the world in general, like even Ontario, like just a lot of things are happening, and it's not great things, but just remember, check in with the people closest to you. Never take an opportunity for granted. Always make sure to check in and say hello and just see how people are doing. If you haven't talked to somebody in a while, because you never know. And give people a squeeze, man. Just give them a hug. Like, never take those opportunities for granted, because that may be the last time you get to do it. We don't know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. So, man, just sad stuff all over. And you just, especially this time of year, man. This time of year is tough. A lot of stuff going on. Hockey Fights Cancer initiatives out there. That's awesome. Movember, hope you guys like it, even though it probably looks awful. I'm usually pretty consistent to do that every year, is to grow my Movember mustache. Show my sort of support, I guess. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we never really truly know what anybody's going through unless they want to share it with us. But that doesn't mean we can't not be there for people. You know what I mean? So just, make sure to check in on the people you love the most. And I'm sure they would definitely be appreciative of that check-in. But continuing on, this, like I said, episode number 4 of our podcast. And of course, at the beginning, we like to do our league stuff and get you caught up on what's happened in the past weekend in the league, as well as get you looking ahead to this upcoming weekend, which we'll do near the end of the podcast. We also have 2 interviews this week, Aaron McGurik and Jake Stoneham. That'll be coming up here in a little while. We have highlights from the Shelburne Muskies Ripley Wolves game. I'll address that after we come back from the highlight pack. But let's get your scoreboard caught up here first. This past Friday, just saw one game in the North Division, and that was Creemore and Saugeen Shores from the Plex and Port Elgin. Saugeen Shores victorious, 8-1 over Creemore in the first of their home and home. The other games in the South, there were 2. You had the Elora Rocks defeating the Milverton 4-wheel drives. I was at that game and called that game. Milverton held right in it till the third period. Elora was leading 3-2 at the end of 40, but able to pull away with the 7-3 victory over the Milverton four-wheel drives on home ice. And then it was Petrolia being upset at home, their first loss of the season, at the hands of the Erin Outlaws, who defeat them 2-1 at the Greenwood Rec Center. So, three very different hockey games, and obviously a massive upset coming in the first three games of a lot of games over the weekend. Before we get into the Saturday scoreboard, we will go to the highlights. There was the Ripley Wolves at the Shelburne Muskies from the CDRC. Enjoy. All right, and with that, we are almost ready for puck drop here at the CDRC, Shelburne, Ontario, Canada, for tonight's OEHL hockey game. It's a North Division matchup between the visiting Ripley Wolves and the home Shelburne Muskies. Starting in goal for the Ripley Wolves, number 38, Garrett Gawley. He is 1-1 on the season. Starting in goal for the Shelburne Muskies is number 34, Gatlin Burt. He is 1-3. Ripley Wolves in the visiting All Whites, Shelburne Muskies in the home All Blues, and we are underway here in Shelburne. Great to have you alongside us here. Can't get there. Now it's Hodgson. He gets away from a check. Oh, big check down there. Whoa. Garrett Mears, the captain, longtime captain of the Ripley Wolves, with a big body check. Face off here to the left of Burton. It's controlled. Now it's Britton. Britton shoots. Saved by... No goal. They wave it off. A lot of discussion here, but Mears gloved it in, and it was called off immediately. Referee in the perfect position for it, and face-off's going to be outside the zone. Shelburne, good pass ahead. This is Tyler Ferreira, number 27, couldn't get deep. Now he's got it again, it's kept in. Weber shoots, scores! Chris Weber, number 12, a bullet, glove hand side. He scores the first of the game. And after not a whole lot from the Shelburne Muskies offensively here in the first period, they're able to get the first one, and they are on the board. It's 1-0 Shelburne here at the CDRC. They just give it away, and here comes Ripley the other way. Chance for Ethan Skinner! What a save from Burt! Boy, Ethan Skinner with a solo rush almost beat Burt single-handedly there. But Gatlin Burt able to get a glove on it and hold it for a face-off. We're in the final minute now of period one. Shelburne continuing to lead 1-0. They're on the penalty kill. Britton. He had it across to Skinner. Cedric scores! What a pass from Ethan Skinner! And Jordan Moulton finishes. Gatlin Burt, no chance, coming across, and it's a power play goal for Ripley as they tie this thing at 1. Ripley, maybe you get one opportunity as Soares tried to play it in. It's on the delayed offside, but that'll do it. The horn goes, and after 20 minutes of play, we are deadlocked at a goal apiece for Shelburne. Chris Weber with his third goal of the season put the Shelburne Muskies up 1-0, but then Jordan Moulton on the power play with his first of the season brought us back to even keel. It's 1-1 after 20. To be bringing you live OEHL hockey on YouTube, just absolutely wonderful. Bringing you tonight's hockey game, one of the many in the OEHL, between the Ripley Wolves and the Shelburne Muskies as we get set for period 2. We are tied at 1 after 20 minutes. And here we go for period 2. We're back to 5-on-5. And as it's going to be brought out by Moulton. Moulton, the goal scorer in the first period for Ripley. Mears has it, the captain of Ripley. They'll play it back to Moulton. Lots of traffic in front. Britton shoots, and a save by Burt. You know, it's funny. I often wonder how a goaltender approaches playing people that he's known for a long time and seen before. And man, Gatlin's got the playbook on a lot of these guys. So to see a blast from Cody Britton on the power play at the line, he's got to be just waiting for that one, you know? But either way, Dynamite save, and that one's played out. Ripley's got it. Here's Howes. Scores! Ripley strikes on the power play. And it's Dan Nikolov, number 11. He connects on the pass down low from Mike Howes, number 12, who set him up. And Ripley draws in front here with a power play goal that puts them ahead. It's 2-1. So Surveys, Muirs, and Britton. Man, juggernaut. And then you have Dawson Farrer and Pat Luby on defense for Ripley. In behind the net is DeCastro. He fights there with Muirs, who keeps the puck. Muirs gets bodied off it, but gets it back to the line. Luby's got it in room again. Here's a shot. They score! It's Cody Britton, number 88, with the soft hands beside the net. He deflects it past Gatlin Burt. And after the Shelburne Muskies took the lead in the first with a 1-0 lead, it's been Ripley since, and they've reeled off 3 straight here. Latest by Cody Britton, centering pass just out of the reach. Taylor shoots. It's intercepted though, and here it is. Ethan Skinner, breakaway, shorthanded. Oh, off the crossbar. Boy, Ethan Skinner was gifted a breakaway shorthanded and put it off the crossbar. He couldn't outweight Burt. Face off to the left-hand side of Burt. Shelburne does a nice job to gain control off that face-off. It came dangerously in front for a moment, but now Shelburne going to try and gain control, and they do. They get it out. Caruso going to go after it. Luby there first. Puts it across. Farrer was pressured there. Now it's going to be played to the line and out. Andrew Taylor back to get it. Had him on the Gone Fishin podcast. Great guy. Giveaway though. They score! Andrew Taylor bobbled the puck for a millisecond, and that was all Ripley needed. And it's Dan Nikolov again beating Gatlin Burt low in blocker's side. And man, oh man, that is just a backbreaker at this point in the hockey game for Shelburne. Lots of hockey left, but tired. They've actually seemed to look like they've gotten better as the game's gone on here. Hodgson, he gets checked into the boards. It's in the Ripley zone. It's up the boards now. To the line. Now it's out. Wolves up the boards, and it's in the Shelburne end, and it'll be played back. Final few seconds ticking off, and that will do it. So, after 40 minutes here in Shelburne, the Ripley Wolves, with a 3-goal second period, now lead it by a score of 4-1. Yeah, guys. So as you guys can see, the highlight pack was brief as it only covered the first 40 minutes. Just want to take a second here to apologize to my subscribers on my YouTube channel, first and foremost, the Shelburne Muskies and the Ripley Wolves organization and the OEHL. I don't know what happened exactly, but for some reason, my stream cut out just as the third period was about to get underway, and it did not come back on. While I was broadcasting the game, so sitting in the stands all by my lonesome, working the camera, doing the play-by-play, on my computer screen, everything looked 100% normal, like it always does when I'm streaming. So I had no indication that anything was not working properly until the end of the game, in which somebody said to me, or a couple of people said, "Hey, how come your stream wasn't working in the third period?" And I said, "I don't know what you mean by that." And of course, I come home that night and find out that there was no third period. So again, through no fault of my own, did the third period not stream. And I apologize to anyone who was looking for it or was curious as to why. If you guys comment, sometimes I see them, sometimes I can't because I've got a lot going on. But I try and bring you guys the best stream that I could possibly bring you. Sometimes Wi-Fi is not the greatest in the buildings. I try and do my best despite those circumstances. So I really do hope you guys enjoy my streams at the end of the day. And I do see the numbers. You guys watch, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much. But we'll move on to the scoreboard for Saturday. like I say, 9-1 Ripley over Shelburne. That was one of the scores in the North Division. Creemore and Saugeen Shores, the back half of their home and home. Saugeen Shores winning again 7-3. They are 6-1-1. On the season, they lead the North Division. We'll get into the standings in a little bit. Minto 81's defeating the Lucknow Lancers by a score of 4-1 at the Palmerston and District Community Center Complex. And it was a crazy one in Elmville at the Elmville Community Arena. Elmville defeating Georgian Bay by a score of 11-7. That game was crazy. But good to see Elmville get on the win in the win column. Georgian Bay kind of struggling here as they, like say in this, they fall to 3-5. Over in the south this past Saturday, Dunville traveling to Tillsonburg, winning 5-3. You had Seaforth defeating Tavistock, a battle of 1 versus 2. Seaforth coming away victorious 5-1. And you had Elora traveling to Delhi and defeating the Delhi Flames 10-0. On Sunday, there was 2 games, one in the south, one in the north. In the south, I was in Milverton for the Milverton four-wheel drives and the Dunville Arrows. Really impressed with the Arrows' performance, given the short bench. They go out and defeat the Milverton four-wheel drives on their home ice 9-5. So not the greatest weekend for Milverton. A couple of losses. Dunville, on the other hand, with 2 big wins, and they are back to 500 as they are 4-4 now on the season. And over in the north, it was an entertaining one that came down to overtime. Elmville Harvesters defeating the Minto 81s 6-5. For Minto, it's their first loss, non-regulation. So in overtime, obviously, the record improves to 3-0-1. They get a point, salvage a point by going to overtime. But the Elmville Harvesters 4-3 now on the season, and they are, like I say, with 6-5 victory there over the Minto 81s. We're going to jump right into our standings, and we'll go through our stat pages here. So Seaforth in the south, 2 points better than Tavistock. You have Petrolia and Elora at 8, as well as Dunville. Erin, Tillsonburg, 4 points apiece. You have Milverton at 3 points. Delhi still looking for their first points of the season. Over in the north, yeah, unbelievable for Saugeen Shores. They lead the Durham Thundercats by 3 points now. Saugeen Shores 6-1-1. Durham idle over this past weekend, but they are in a tie for second with Ripley and with Elmville, who all have 8 points. Durham and Ripley have only played 5, while Elmville has played 7. Minto 81's 1 point back. They are 3-0-1, as mentioned earlier. You have Georgian Bay. They've played the most games. They are 3-5. They have 6 points. You have Shelburne at 4 points. They are 2-4. Lucknow at 1-4. They have 2 points, and Creemore still looking for their first points as well on the season. Looking at the leading goals, and we have a new leader up at the top of the leading goal scoring. Jacob Robitaille, big weekend for him. He scored 4 in the game against Elmville. He is up to 12 goals on the season. You have Luke Gehrig at 8. Clayton Holzer with a hat trick on Friday. He is at 8. Miles McLean at 8. Jared Bogdan, Evan Bueller, Mike Fegan, Jacob Kelly, Brent McDermott, and Jared Nash, all at 7 apiece across the board. Jacob Kelly, big weekend for the Elmville Harvesters, and Jacob Kelly, again, when you score 11 goals, you're bound to put up points. Same with Evan Bueller in that game. He's, again, they scored 7 in a loss, but Bueller, big weekend for him as well. Over to the leading assists, and we have Justin Graham and Miles McLean tied for first in assists with 13 apiece. Miles McLean, a big weekend for him, obviously, in back-to-back games against Creemore. Mackenzie Fleming, Jacob Kelly, both at 11. You have Justin Donnelly, Brody LeBlanc, Matt Rugrock of Dunville after a couple W's. He is up on the leading assist category, as well as Alex Utley, who had 6 assists against Delhi on Saturday. He is at 9. Evan Bueller at 8, and 3 others tied at 8 assists on the season. And we also have a new leader in points, and that is Miles McLean, who has a 3-point edge on Jacob Kelly from Elmville. Miles McLean, 21, Kelly with 18. You have 3 Georgian Bay Apple Kings, and that is Mackenzie Fleming. Jacob Robitaille, 16 points apiece. Evan Bueller, 1 behind at 15. Bueller tied with Justin Donnelly and Luke Gehrig at 15 points. Justin Graham, Brody LeBlanc, and 5 others at 13 points apiece. So you still have Durham guys in the top 10, even though they didn't play at all this past weekend. From there, we go to the defensive points. Logan Blazer, big weekend for him for Georgian Bay, 11 points he's up to. You have Kyler Nixon at 11 points. Adam Lagozo, who's made the transition from Shelburne to Minto, he put up a point over the weekend. He is now combined 10 points so far this season. Sean Launtz, big weekend for the Allura Rocks. He's up into the top 10, along with Riley Pitt of Elmville, who sees the top 10. And then you have Kyle Soper, Bryden Gibbs of Dunville, Ruben Smith, Josh Erbschott, and two others tied at 6, as you can see in the top 10 for defensive points. Our last stat category is our goaltender wins, and the unbelievable season for Clayton Fritsch continues as he leads all goalies and wins with 5. Alex Hutcherson right on his heels with 4 for Seaforth. You have Joseph Clark at 3, Jeremy Curry of Dunville at 3, Colin Dunn of Allura at 3, Jacob Knowles of Petrolia at 3, Marshall Nichols at 3 with Durham, Jonathan Reinhart with Minto at 3, and then you have Alan Maneri of Georgia Bay with 2, along with 6 other goaltenders who all have 2 wins apiece. Yeah, it's crazy when there's 18 teams to try and keep up with everything that's going on in the league, but I at least try and do my best to make sure that you guys are updated on some of the stats that are happening, because there's a lot of good talent out there, a lot of scoring, and just want to highlight those guys in their efforts because they deserve to be appreciated for them. And so, yeah, that gives you an update as to where we are. On the other side of our interviews, we'll get you teed up for this upcoming weekend in the league for what is on tap. A lot of good games that'll be coming up, and I'll tell you where I'm going to be. But for now, we go to our interviews. We have Aaron McGurik and Jake Stoneham of Shelburne. All right. We continue on the Gone Fishin podcast. Great to have a couple guests stop in every week, and this week's no exception. Coming up in a little bit, we got Jake Stoneham, but first and foremost, number 7, the one digit in front of him on the program, number 7, Aaron McGurik joins us now. Aaron, it's great to have you on here. Thanks for doing this.
Great to be here.
Let's talk about the Muskies, obviously, because that's what this podcast is centered towards. You guys are 2-4 through the first 6 games. Obviously, not an ideal record that you want to have at this point. What's your assessment been 6 games in?
Yeah, no, it's been good. I think the team's kind of coming together. It was a little rough off the start, like you said, but every week we're just getting a little bit better and learning how to play with each other.
It is an interesting thing when a team gets thrown together. And a lot of guys, from what I understand anyway, haven't played together before. Have you found that adjustment noticeable, I guess is the word for it?
Yeah, you can kind of tell that we haven't really played with each other from the beginning, but like I said before, it's just going to get better as we keep practicing here every week and get to know each other.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Obviously, last week, the result doesn't go your favor against, well, a pretty darn good Ripley Wolves team, which is kind of the opposite of what you guys are going through, and considering that a lot of them have played together for a really long time. What do you take away, though, from that 9-1 loss? Like, there has to be some positives, right?
Oh yeah, there's always positives, like little stuff in the D zone and little stuff that we worked on in practice that planned out to be in a game. But other than that, yeah, they are a good team, but we're gonna try our best and hopefully get them next time.
Absolutely, and you'll play him again down the road, no question. This will be that'll be in Ripley at that point, but yeah, no, I mean, again, like I said, 2-4, not an ideal start, but at least I don't know. Are you having fun so far? Like, is this a good situation for you so far through 6 games?
Yeah, it's been really fun. This is my first year in senior, and I only knew a few guys coming in to the team, but other like the guys are great, the team's great, the organization's great, the guys running it. Everything's just great about the team. Just glad to have it back in Shelburne.
Yeah, after a 3-year absence, the community really rallies around Shelburne and the Muskies. It's got a long storied history, as pretty well documented. Um, what do you find about this league? Like, obviously first year and senior, has anything stood out to you like that you've been like, whoa, okay, this is intense.
Yeah, there's some pretty big boys out there.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And the league is like very competitive. Everybody wants to win. There's lots of good players out there. So, yeah,
Has anybody stood out on the Muskies that have kind of taken your eye, like been like, oh yeah, this guy's good.
Kyle Burke's been pretty good lately. He's been putting up some points. Same
Yeah,
with Hodgie. He's been
right.
putting up some points, but
And as a defenseman, obviously, like it's important for you and your D partner, obviously, to gain some chemistry there. How has that been going?
yeah, right now we've been kind of switching through the lineup and switching my partner. So I haven't really
Okay.
stuck with anybody too long, but as of right now, it's going pretty good.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. That's good news to hear. You guys have a tough test against Elmville this upcoming Sunday. It's an afternoon game. Do you know much about them? Have you been following much about the other teams in the league, and what are you expecting on Sunday?
Uh, I've been following it a little bit. I know they got a couple good lines out there, and that they're going to be a good team and a tough team to play against. But yeah, we're just gonna have to come Sunday and work hard and stick to what we know and hopefully come out with a win.
Would you say the overall morale in the dressing room is good right now, given the 2-4 record?
Yeah, actually, it's really good. The boys are picking each other up, cheering each other on, just doing whatever it takes to get that energy and hopefully get the win.
Absolutely. In terms of like your in hockey, like where is it that you kind of come from in terms of your hockey experience? Like you said, this was your first foray into junior, like or senior, I should say. Like, where was your previous competitive hockey?
Yeah, so I grew up playing Honeywood minor hockey, and then
Okay,
in Bantam, I went and played Grey Bruce, and then aged out of there and went and played Mount Forest Patriots for four
okay,
years, and then last year I played in Alliston.
okay. For the Hornets, I believe.
Yeah, yep,
Right on. And how'd you find your junior experience? That's junior C, right?
yeah, junior
Yeah.
C. Yeah, the junior experience is unreal. I don't think guys know how fast it flies by, but
Is that right?
when the time comes, it's sad to move on, but uh, the next chapter's waiting.
And then, yeah, speak a little bit about the Patriots. I got a little bit of a, well, not a connection, I should say, but I followed them pretty closely for a few years. I worked a little bit at a radio station in Mount Forest, so I was covering them pretty closely. And man, the number of guys that have graduated on and now play in the senior league, not just this one, but the other one as well, like it's impressive. And like some of them are really good.
Yeah, there was a couple that are really good. I played with Brody LeBlanc and
Yeah,
Luke
Durham.
Yerrigan, Luke Yerrigan, Mount Forest, and they both
Yeah.
played for Durham. But yeah, Mount Forest was it was a great organization, great guys, great community. It was just unreal.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of wild when you make that connection between the junior circuit and obviously now the senior circuit and seeing the growth between the players that used to play there and then obviously play now in the senior and how far they've come. And obviously, yeah, it's a whole different ball game from one to the other. It's impossible to compare sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to compare.
But no, it's obviously it's it's one of those things. And I think there's a lot of growth to be had in this league as well now that it's up to 18 teams. I think that's pretty impressive. And I think there's lots of good talented teams as well that are going to come and they're going to play you guys and it's going to be intense.
Oh yeah, it's going to get intense, and the league's only going to get better, and each team's only going to get better as we go on in seasons.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Last one for you. I guess what do you have any sort of like personal goals in terms of the rest of the season or even like team oriented goals? Like what is your hope for the rest of the season?
It's just to improve on the little things like defensively and maybe get on the score sheet a little bit, stay out of the penalty
We won't
box.
talk about it. We won't talk about it.
But other than that, just helping my team out as much as I can and pretty much in any way possible.
Good. Well, and like I said, as long as you're enjoying it, that really is all that matters at the end of the day. The wins will come as a result of that. If you play loose, have some fun, get some, make some good plays, contribute on the score sheet if you can. That's always a good thing. Staying out of the box, that's another good thing. But at the end of the day, just have some fun with it and the wins will come, right? So
Oh yeah, it's all about fun.
that's right. But winning's fun too.
It is.
Um, but yeah, like I say, we've been talking with Aaron McGurik, number 7 defenseman of the Shelburne Muskies. They play at home this Sunday afternoon at 1:30 start against the Elmville Harvesters. Should be a dandy. Thanks for doing this, pal. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk soon. Thanks for having me.
This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue on with our second guest on this week's edition of the Gone Fishin podcast. Number 8 of the Shelburne Muskies, Jake Stoneham, joins us. Jake, great to have you on here. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'll kind of stick with the same kind of theme of the questions here, and that I spoke with Aaron about. You guys 2-4, not an ideal 6-game start, but obviously it could be worse, but could be better. Where's your mindset of where this team is at 6 games in?
To be quite honest, I don't mind where we're at. I like where we're at. You know, whether you want to define it as a new club, I mean, I know the Muskies have existed, have a great history in the league, but for all intents and purposes, we're a new squad with a lot of new guys. Just trying to navigate our way through an inaugural season. And I think, as with most teams or any team kind of navigating this situation, we're just trying to get our feet wet and gel as a group. And I think if you ask probably anybody on the team to a man will say everyone's pretty optimistic, and we feel good about where we are. We feel our potential is probably um, a little better than maybe what the record or what the standings will show.
Right.
But I think overall in the room, there's an unspoken sort of quiet confidence that we'll continue to trend up and come back in 6 games, and I think we'll be having a slightly different discussion, I would say.
Well, I'm certainly with you on that last point. I think that's really well put. Yeah, like take away the 13-0 game against Durham, and I think the numbers are actually quite good. Um,
Exactly. I missed that game, but that was our first game as a team. Everyone,
yeah,
there's a bunch of guys on the roster who are new to senior hockey. I think there was an adjustment to the speed, the physicality.
sure.
Um, I think that Durham game is somewhat of an outlier. I mean, we haven't had the easiest schedule so far as well.
Some good teams there.
Minto's the defending champs. Ripley's, consistently been at the top of the standings for the last few years. That group is, a bunch of veterans who have played together a long time and have had success together for a long time. And take away some unfortunate plays, some unfortunate calls, and a bag full of power play goals. And we're looking at a different outcome probably in that Saugeen game as well.
Right.
So depending on how you want to look at it, I mean, we're not making any excuses for ourselves,
No.
but I think overall we're pretty happy with where we are and the effort that we put forward so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And having done a number of your guys' games, I would echo that statement 100%. Like it's been really fun to watch you guys play. In the time that you've been here, what is your biggest takeaway? Like, is there guys on the team that have impressed you? Like, where's your head at in your game right now as it stands?
Overall, to the man, I think we're sort of in the midst of emerging with a team identity, and I think that's built on hard work, some physicality, and sticking to our system. And when we've been able to string a couple periods together where we've been able to do that consistently, I think we found success. And even in some of the games that we've lost, it may not have been a full 60-minute effort, but when we stuck to our game plan, we stuck to our structure, we've stuck to our identity. We've certainly had very strong competitive periods, if not, large chunks of the game. And so I think we'll just continue to do that. We'll continue to settle into this identity. We'll continue to work hard. We'll continue to finish our checks and play as a unit. We've had pretty moderate to fair success, being able to roll lines, throughout the majority of each game, where everyone knows their job and everyone's contributing. So I think we just need to lean into that more, and the success will continue to come.
So and to tag on to that, I would say maybe even just maybe discipline, obviously, is probably a big
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Trying to stay out of the box. I mean, obviously, not shooting yourself in the foot so much. Um,
I'd
but
agree with
just
that.
the simple things, right? Like, and obviously, yeah, like it seems like you guys have the skill set to put some wins together.
I think so. And the division we're in is a pretty strong competitive division.
Yeah.
There's definitely some teams that are emerging near the top of the standings. But I think, like I said, if we can, like you mentioned, sort of stay disciplined, stick to our structure, stick to our game plan, and have 20 guys pulling on the rope each game. Um, I think we're very competitive, and we've proven that we deserve to be here, and that we're going to give teams a fair game night in and night out.
Hey, I agree. And I've always been of the opinion in senior hockey that any team can beat any team on any given night if you have it. If you don't, you're going to get run out of the building, no matter whose building it is. Yours, theirs, doesn't matter.
Correct.
That's just the great thing about this league, the great thing about senior hockey. You're a guy who's been around the senior hockey circuit for a little while, played on some different teams and that sort of thing. You were a captain of one of those teams.
Yep.
You know, is I guess this is kind of a two-parter. One being, is this experience any different or is it a lot of the same? And the second thing is with this group, do you see any leadership coming through in yourself when it comes to this group?
So I'll say, up until this point, this has been one of my more enjoyable experiences. One of the better rooms I've been a part of. It's a good group,
Yeah.
and everyone gets along. Everyone's excited to be here. We come to the rink. Attendance at practice is good. Morale is high. Everyone's there, with their work boots on, and
Mhm.
we have pretty high tempo, pretty focused, pretty structured, pretty productive practices.
Good.
And it's nice to come to the rink when that's the attitude, right? You're in
Totally.
the room, you have a good time, but when it's time to work, everybody knows that it's time to work, and we put the work in. And slowly, I think the results are starting to speak for themselves a little bit. We managed to string a couple wins together there, and um, things are looking up. As far as myself, I would say I haven't really given too much thought to that, to be honest.
Fair.
I think just like everybody else, when I come to the rink, I bring a good attitude and a strong work ethic, and I just try to do my part, do what's asked of me on a night in, night out basis.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can really do. Again, I just, I've had the privilege of knowing you for a little bit now, and just kind of followed how your senior hockey playing career, and just been really impressed with your play and your presence, more or less on the ice and off the ice as well. So I just
Thank
kind
you.
of wondered what that translated to with this group. Obviously, yeah, a lot of talent out there as well. I know a lot of guys have singled out Kyle Burke, who's had a great start to his year.
Yep, yep. Berkey's been putting the puck in the back of the net. He's another guy who's a lunch pail guy. Berkey's in great shape. He's got a great engine. He plays physical. He plays hard, and he's been going to the net. And I think maybe he's one of the guys that's new to senior hockey, so maybe not a name that's gonna jump off the score sheet when we go into an opposing rink, but once he gets a couple shifts under his belt, I think everybody on the ice is aware of who he is, and he's shown what he's capable of doing, and yeah, he's had a great start, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you guys have been really enjoyable to watch, and I've been privileged to do a few of your games now, and I'm looking forward to doing many more. Next game, obviously, is upcoming this Sunday. It's an afternoon start, 1:30, on home ice against the Elmville Harvesters, who went into Minto and beat them 6-5 over the weekend. Um,
Yep.
what are you expecting from this one? And I guess the second part to that would be how much do you pay attention to the other teams in the North? With there, I mean, there's so many good teams, and obviously a lot of games every night, it seems. Do
Yep.
you find yourself, I guess, scoreboard watching a lot or having a look or checking in?
For sure. I think that's important. Keep an eye on what everyone else is doing. Have an idea of, who's hot when they're coming into our building or vice versa.
Sure.
Know what you're up against, know who you're looking out for. With respect to Elmville specifically, another new team who's, had a lot of early success here. Um, there's a, they seem to be able to do a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
They've got some guys, past teammates of mine that I know
Okay.
play hard and physical, and for sure that top line of theirs has been hot. I think one, two, or all three of them are near the top of the league in terms of point production so far. So um, you know, as far as we're concerned, they can play and beat you a bunch of ways, and we need to be ready for them for sure.
Yeah, they definitely, like I say, string a couple of victories over the weekend up. That shootout against Georgian Bay where they win 11-7, and then again, hostile defending champs Palmerston Arena, which is cold as anything, and they go and they beat the defending champs in overtime. So yeah, no small task, I guess, but should be a dandy of a contest anyway. Last one I'll give you here. What are your like personal goals for the rest of the season, and what would you say the team's goals are for the rest of the season?
To be honest with you, as a group, I don't know if we've necessarily quantified what we would define as success per se. I definitely think there's a belief in our room that we can finish for sure 500 or better in this
Mhm.
division. Um, and personally, same thing. I don't think I've put a number on anything or set any goals like that. I just
Right.
want to show up to the rink, make sure I'm working hard, make sure I'm being a good teammate, and make sure you don't have any regrets at the end of the night. There isn't something that you could have done better, or at least where the effort's concerned. You want to leave it out there for sure.
Lead by example. Love it. It's a great answer. We've been speaking with number 8, Jake Stoneham of the Shelburne Muskies. Muskies next in action this Sunday, 1:30 at the Center Duffin Recreation Complex against the Elmville Harvesters. Jake, it's been a pleasure having you on. We'll definitely talk more throughout the season, and thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Pleasure was all mine. Thanks so much, Raji. All right, we'll see you around the rink.
Yes, once again, want to thank Aaron McGurik and Jake Stoneham for coming on the podcast this week. Great chatting with them, and definitely looking forward to seeing what they got to do the rest of the way this season. Want to thank Larry Small Engines of Mono, Ontario, Canada for being the sponsor and for all the work that they do. Check them out. We're going to get you teed up for the weekend, and then we'll sign off here so that this podcast isn't any longer than it needs to be. One game on Friday. That's right, only one, and that is in the South Division, and that's Delhi Flames traveling to Petrolia to take on the Squires. Previously unbeaten, not anymore. But that one goes from the Greenwood Rec Center in Petrolia at 8:30. From there, we go to the Saturday games, and there are 6 in total, 3 in the north, 3 in the south. We start in the north. Saugeen Shores travels to Georgian Bay, or Thornbury, I should say, to take on the Apple Kings. Georgian Bay, 3-5. Saugeen Shores, 6-1-1. Starts at 7 o'clock. You have the Elmville Harvesters traveling to Lucknow to take on the Lancers. That goes at 7:30 from the Lucknow and District Sports Complex. And then the final game in the North on Saturday is the Minto 81s traveling to Durham to take on the Thundercats. This has game of the year potential and should be a dandy at the Durham Community Center and Arena. 7:30 is the start time. Over in the South, no shortage of good games there. Milverton traveling to Seaforth, take on the Centenaires. Seaforth and District Community Center, 7:30 start time. Milverton desperately needing a win, and they have a tall order in Seaforth on the road. Elora traveling to Tavistock to take on the Royals. Elora looking really strong of late, up to 32 goals for, 19 against. So these two teams, pretty well identical numbers. Only Tavistock's played one more, and they've won one more. This goes at the Tavistock and District Recreation Center. 7:30 will be the start time in that one. Final game in the South. On Saturday is the Delhi Flames traveling to Dunnville to take on the Arrows. It's a Dunnville home game. They are 4-4 at Dunnville Memorial Arena, 8 o'clock start time on Saturday. And then on Sunday, 4 games in total, 2 in the south, 2 in the north. You have the Elmville Harvesters traveling to Shelburne to take on the Muskies, Center Dufferin Recreation Complex in Shelburne, 1:30 start time. Elsewhere, the Creemore Coyotes travel to Ripley to take on the Wolves. That goes at 2:30 at the Ripley Huron Community Center. Our final 2 games of the weekend emanate from the south. Petrolia traveling to Milverton to take on the Drives. That's at the Perk, the Perth East Recreation Complex in Milverton, 2:30. And then the final game of the weekend, the Erin Outlaws traveling to Tillsonburg to take on the Thunder. It's a 3 o'clock start time from the Tillsonburg Community Center, or what a former colleague used to call the Thunderdome. I don't know if they're still going by that or not. But alas, I digress. The last slide that I will show you here is where you can find me this weekend at the Real Raji 21 on YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along. I will be in Thornbury on Saturday for Saugeen Shores and Georgian Bay. 7 o'clock start time, pregame 6:30, 6:45-ish. And then on Sunday, I will be in Shelburne for Elmville and Shelburne at the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex. It's a 1:30 puck drop, so about 1 o'clock, 1:15 will be the pregame from Shelburne. So like I say, follow along, like, subscribe, everything else. I really do appreciate all of you, and thank you so much for all your continued support. This has been another episode of the Gone Fishin' Podcast. Really hope you guys have enjoyed it. Drive safe out there and be safe and be kind to everyone. And we will see you guys again next week. If you see me at the rinks, stop by, say hello, introduce yourself, and we'll have a chat. We'll chat hockey. I always enjoy meeting new people, and you guys are just fantastic, and you've had nothing but nice things to say. So I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, everyone. It's the Gone Fishin' Podcast in association with the OEHL and the Shelburne Muskies, and hosted by OEHL live on YouTube play-by-play commentator Andrew Rodgers. This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today.